Should we start? Okay. So we'll do all of us and then Casey speaks at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. Afghan.
Do we want me with glasses? I'd rather be without glasses. Studious? I want to be, I just want to be grassroots from the land, don't wear glasses.
Then when you get real serious, you have to take them off.
I used to always watch people that used to have like Mililani Trask.
Ready?
Used to be really impressive.
Ready?
She has a stream, and then when she puts it,
We're starting.
puts it on.
Nanti dia tanya jawab habis
Very
konten.
deep,
Tolong sebagainya.
And here I'm wearing glasses.
Hello.
The only reason is I can't read it.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the fourth day of COP25 here in Madrid. We are here from different organizations this morning, and we are here to launch the No to Carbon Markets Day. We are bringing strongly this theme here to this COP25 to say no to carbon markets. So we've got some wonderful speakers here today. We're still waiting for another speaker as well. And we have a carbon markets brief to launch. We have a petition to tell you about. It's going to be an action-filled, exciting 30 minutes. Thank you for joining us. My name is Dipti Bhatnagar. I coordinate the Climate Justice and Energy Program for Friends of the Earth International, and I live in Mozambique. So to start off, I would like to introduce you to Lydie Nakpil from the Asia People's Movement on Debt and Development. Take it away, Lydie.
Good morning, everyone. Our struggle against carbon markets has been really long and hard. They first made a big introduction of carbon markets with the Kyoto Protocol. And in fact, one of the countries or governments that made it possible to get the carbon markets in the Kyoto Protocol and carbon trading was the United States. If you remember, those of you who are old enough to remember, the United States made it a condition for it to agree with the Kyoto Protocol, but in the end, it did not go with the Kyoto Protocol. So it's like it's been a history of U.S. governments to foul up negotiations by asking for these conditions. And it reminds me of what it did in Paris when it said there should be no liabilities and compensation discussions on loss and damage as a condition for agreeing with the Paris Agreement. And in the end, they're now out of the Paris Agreement. So it's been a long and hard struggle, and we have been saying from the beginning when they were introducing this that carbon trading and carbon markets will not help raise ambition and delivery of mitigation. It will not help raise ambition and delivery of mitigation. And we have seen in the last more than a decade that carbon markets and carbon trading have in fact caused harm. It's not that they were not helpful at all in delivering mitigation. They've actually caused harm because what has happened in all these many years is that governments, carbon trading and carbon markets have made governments and corporations very complacent about pledging and especially about delivering on their targets. They have used this as a mechanism to shove their responsibilities to other countries and use money in order to avoid actual effective delivery of mitigation actions. What we're saying today, what the new thing we're saying today, because there's going to be a lot of stories already in the past 10 years about how carbon markets have been harmful in so many ways, and we have a very great panel that will do that. What we're actually saying today is that we reject it not only because it's not effective and it's harmful, but because we have no time. We have no time to deal with these stupid, ridiculous solutions because it's now at the level of having just a few short years to deliver on everything that we should be delivering, because otherwise we will lose the chance to keep warming below 1.5. We have no time, we have no space to experiment, or especially to keep doing the same things knowing that we will have the same results. I mean, it's a very famous, I think, attribution to Albert Einstein that if you keep doing the same things every time and you know that it will deliver on the same results, that's the definition of insanity. There's also one last thing I'd like to clarify this morning, because we have been asking for climate finance. We have been asking for climate finance as an urgent thing, as part of the obligations of the rich industrialized countries, and part of that climate finance is for mitigation actions in the developing world or in the South. We need to explain that this is very different from offsets and carbon trading and carbon markets. The assumption of climate finance is that rich industrialized countries should do everything possible, their utmost, for mitigation actions in their countries, in their territories. But because they owe so much climate debt, because they have accumulated so much historical emissions, they will not be able to do their fair share of mitigation only within their territories. And the unfortunate thing, and unfortunate for us in the South, is that we not only have to do our fair share, we have to do part of the fair share of rich industrialized countries so that we can keep on track to be below 1.5. But we cannot do that unless climate finance is delivered for this. And we say this over and over again, that climate finance is not assistance to the South. It is the South assisting the North to deliver on their fair share. But the condition is you have to give us the resources to be able to do that, because we have so many other needs that we need to spend on. We need our resources for, and it will not be possible for us to do what you should be doing in the first place if there is no finance delivered. I make this point because there's muddling of these discussions about climate finance for mitigation in the South. First, they're claiming it's to help us. And then secondly, they're trying to obfuscate it by saying, well, it's like offsets. Yeah, so it's like legitimizing offsets and carbon trading by saying, you know, carbon trading is one of the best ways to raise climate finance that you need for your actions in the South. So we need to say again and again, this is not about offsets, the climate finance, and we reject offsets, we reject carbon trading and carbon markets. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lady Nakpil from the Asia People's Movement on Debt and Development. I now take you to our speaker, Henderman from La Via Campesina in Indonesia. And because diversity is very important and language justice is very important, he's going to speak in Bahasa, and Afghan is very kindly going to interpret for us. Henderman.
Terima kasih. Terima kasih, selamat pagi semua. Semoga ini bisa bermanfaat buat kita semua. Saya Hendarman dari La Via Campesina, Indonesia.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I am Hendarman from La Via Campesina, Indonesia.
Krisis iklim merupakan masalah krusial yang harus diatasi oleh semua pihak demi menjaga keberlangsungan umat manusia dan alam. Namun pemerintah dunia hingga hari ini mengedepankan solusi-solusi seperti green economy, blue economy, kemudian REDD+, yang masih mengandalkan pada korporasi ataupun aktor-aktor bisnis sebagai pemain utama dalam mengatasi krisis iklim. Konsekuensi justru memperparah kondisi dari masyarakat, kemudian iklim, hingga pada akar rumput, dan khususnya adalah petani yang terdampak.
So the climate crisis is a problem that must to be overcome by all parties in the world for the survival of the humanity and nature. However, world governments to this day still prioritize solutions such as the green economy, the blue economy, or REDD+, which still mandates institution or business actor as the main actors in overcoming crisis which actually worsen environmental and grassroots conditions such as peasant.
Di India saat ini lebih dari 600 juta orang yang menderita kekeringan. Lebih dari 15.000 desa negara bagian Karnataka dan Maharashtra dibiarkan tanpa air. Ribuan petani dipaksa menjadi migran. Kisah yang sama terus terjadi di Sindh, selatan Pakistan, menderita hampir 1 dekade kekeringan dan kelaparan.
In India nowadays, more than 600 million people suffer from drought. More than 15,000 villages in the states of Karnataka and Maharashtra are left without water. Thousands of peasants have been forced to become climate migrants. The same story continues in Sindh, southern Pakistan, which has suffered nearly a decade of drought and famine.
Di Korea Selatan, setelah pasar pertanian dibuka sejak akhir 80-an dengan revolusi hijau, pemerintah telah memaksa petani untuk memperbaiki struktur pertanian, meningkatkan daya saing, menciptakan sistem pertanian industri monokultur. Ini telah menciptakan tidak hanya ketidakserasian ekonomi, tapi telah menyebabkan krisis iklim. Petani menghadapi penurunan pertumbuhan tanaman, setiap hari meningkat hama dan gulma di ladangan mereka.
In South Korea, after the agricultural market has been opened since the late 80s, the government has forced peasants to improve their agricultural structure to increase competitiveness, creating industrial and monoculture farming system. This has created not only economic inequality, but has also led to a climate crisis. Peasants face the declining of crop growth every day and the increasing of pests and weeds in their fields.
Pada tahun 2019, sebagaimana di Indonesia harus hidup dalam melawan kepulan asap, diakibatkan kebakaran hutan seluas lebih dari 800.000 hektar. Dari hasil investigasi dilakukan oleh polisi dan kementerian, 17 korporasi dan 345 telah ditetapkan menjadi tersangka pembakaran hutan, dan 84 perusahaan telah disegel, dan 5 diantaranya telah diberikan sanksi administratif.
In 2019, in Indonesia, Indonesian people have to live in clouds of smoke caused by forest fires covering more than 800,000 hectares of land. From the result of the investigation conducted by the police and the ministry, 17 corporations and 345 people have been named as suspects in the burning of forests, and active corporations have been sealed, and 15 of them have been given administrative sanctions.
Dari tahun 2012, petani SPI di Kabupaten Tebo, Provinsi Jambi tidak hentinya dihantui perampasan lahan dilakukan oleh PT Lestari Asri PT LAJ, memiliki 61.495.000 hektar, merupakan perusahaan dari PT Barito Pacific Indonesia dan Grup Michelin Prancis sejak Februari 2018.
From 2012, peasants in Tebo Regency, Jambi Province, were unceasingly haunted by land grabbing efforts carried out by PT Lestari Asri Jaya Company. The most recent case in Tebo Regency occurred in May 2019, when LAG Company sent heavy equipment to displace the agricultural land of the peasant. And LAG Company, which has a permit area of 495 hectare, is a subsidiary of PT Barito Pacific Indonesia and the Michelin Group of France. And since February 2018, the company has received funding from Tropical Landscape Financial Facilities.
Dalam mengatasi krisis iklim ini, Lavia Campesina sejak lama mengedepankan petani agroekologi sebagai solusi sejati. Konsep agroekologi dimaknai suatu cara petani mengintegrasikan secara komprehensif aspek lingkungan ekonomi. Lavia juga bekerja menuntut kepada negara-negara untuk mengadopsi deklarasi hak asasi petani di PBB, kemudian dan masyarakat yang bekerja di desa dalam rangka mengatasi krisis iklim dari akarnya. Pemenuhan dan penegakan hak asasi petani atas hak benih, pengetahuan tradisional, dan hak pelestarian alam menjadi jaminan untuk bumi yang adil dan berkelanjutan.
In overcoming the climate crisis, Lavia Campesina has long been promoting the peasant agroecology as a true solution. The concept of agroecology is a way of farming that comprehensively integrates the environmental and socio-economic aspect of the agricultural community. La Via Campesina also demands countries, states, to immediately adopt the United Nations Declaration on the Right of Peasants and other people working in rural areas in order to overcome the climate crisis from its roots. Fulfillment and enforcement of peasant rights, such as right to land, right to seeds, right to traditional knowledge, and right to conservation, will be a guarantee for a just and sustainable earth.
Perdagangan karbon adalah kejahatan paling besar saat ini untuk umat manusia dan planet ini. Sekian, terima kasih.
The carbon trading is the biggest criminalization thing that is happen now in this world.
Kita semua harus bergabung bagaimana melawan ini, menggabungkan harapan dan menggabungkan perjuangan bersama. Hidup petani, hidup La Via Campesina.
We have to be united in this struggle. Hidup petani, viva La Via Campesina.
Viva.
Thank you, Henderman. No to carbon markets, yes to peasant agroecology. I would like to quickly pass to Tom Goldtooth, an indigenous elder from the United States. Tom, take it away.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be here this morning. I come here with a message from our spiritual authorities, not only from the north in Turtle Island, what we call North America, in the belly of the beast of neoliberalism and capitalism, but also calling attention to one of our elders and spiritual advisors on this issue, on this topic that comes from the state of Acre, Brazil, Chief Ninawa from the Hundakwai peoples. He's on his way. He could not make it here. But we are saying that we must stop the Mother Earth grab for CO2 colonialism. We must stop the planet grab of what's going on here. We sent a message out in 2015 at the signing of the Paris Accord, the agreement, that that's going to be a crime against humanity and Mother Earth because it was nothing but a trade instrument. The United Nations, the governments of the world, the corporations, extractive industries, and some of our environmental organizations who are here in this space, they want to use half of the world's land, including indigenous peoples' territories and our small farmers and our peasants' farms, for a false solution to climate change called carbon offsets, carbon markets. Carbon markets do not reduce global warming. Carbon offsets privatize Mother Earth and nature, including the air that we breathe, and pretend to use the soils, our forests, our plantations, our agriculture, and other ecosystems as sponges for greenhouse gases instead of cutting emissions. That's why we are concerned about this. We come from the belly of the beast where there's an expansion of forced fossil fuel development. So the greenwash that they are using is this market-based solution. So offsets corrupt the sacred. They corrupt the sacred. The planet grab for carbon offsets, which may affect 1 billion people, has many names. RED, nature-based solutions, even using airline offsets. The Green Deal, the global Green New Deal, and capitalism's green economy. These are scams. Article 6, there's a fight for adoption of Article 6. Article 6 will lock the world to even more emissions, not less emissions. It will create more temperature rise. It will continue fossil fuel use, and in some regions there will be the expansion of fossil fuel development. Article 6 isn't just a human rights issue. It's not just an issue of lack of safeguards. The adoption of Article 6 will open the door to decades of inaction, distraction, and corporate power grabbing. So we are here with the Indigenous Environmental Network and our allies and alliances from the United States and Canada with It Takes Roots, Global Justice Alliance, Climate Justice Alliance, and many of our indigenous peoples in the North and South to denounce Article 6. It is not fixable. We cannot reform it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. I'd like to now welcome Casey Camp, an indigenous elder woman from the Ponca Nation. Casey.
Zatia, good morning, everyone. It's good to be here among you. And it's good to breathe air, isn't it? And that seems to be something that we're all here talking about, is the sacredness of our Mother, the Earth, that is the one true Mother that we all share, that sustains us. And our Father, the sky, the Moon Mother, the Father, the Sun, the Star Nation, and the air that blows around this beautiful Mother that cleanses and purifies and creates life within us, same as the sacred water does. When I read about these things and I look down at the papers that I'm writing on here, there are three things on the top of my paper, and it's crisis, crisis, crisis. We're in a position now as human beings that we have created such a mess that we're about to become one of the 1 million species to be taken off of the face of the earth because we don't deserve to be here unless we come in line with the sacred system of life that has always been in place. And when we see places of the United Nations talking, what other nations are they speaking for? Are they speaking for those with 4 legs that still want to be able to breathe, to bring children into the life? Are they speaking for those with wings? Are they speaking for those with fins? For the water itself that also contains this sacred air that we talk about. All things are connected. When you write new articles that you can't fix, and you can't fix Article 6, then you must come into an understanding. When you're in a place like I am, where ConocoPhillips 66 is buying carbon credits in the South from my relatives who are merely trying to live their lives in a sacred manner within the sacred Amazon forest and mountains. And then by buying the carbon credits down there to a good people who feel as if they're just caretaking their portion of Mother Earth that the Creator set them on, they can come up where my people live and commit environmental genocide by those carbon credits, allowing them to pollute more, to kill the air, to kill the water, to kill the earth, and that kills my people. It's unacceptable. We will not have it.
Thank you, Casey. So we're here launching our carbon markets brief, Friends of the Earth International, Indigenous Environmental Network, La Via Campesina, Asia People's Movement on Debt and Development, and the Grassroots Global Justice Alliance. We have copies here in English and Spanish. We also have a copy in French online. Please help yourselves. We put out a petition saying no to carbon markets, no to Article 6.2 and 6.4. As Tom and Casey have so eloquently said, this is not fixable. This needs to be stopped. We are here to say no to carbon markets. And our 5 organizations, we put out this petition, and we have been joined by 160 organizational sign-ons from all corners of the earth, and we are here launching this petition today. We will be having an action at the entrance of Hall 4 today at 10 a.m. Please come and join us. We are also going to launch this petition and get it to the negotiators and the governments. Article 6 negotiations are in doldrums, and we are going to be here for the rest of the negotiations at COP25 to oppose carbon markets and to oppose Article 6.2 and 6.4. We are really running out of time, but I would love to open up for questions. But can I ask press first, please? And could you please identify yourself?
Yes, I'm Willie Losi. I am from the Kingdom of Tonga. If you look to your left, look to your right, look the one in front of you, look the one behind you. We all have children. And one thing that we have within us is that mother force of the heart. If you look at the earth, all you have to take is the H from the back going to the front. And that's the heart. And that's the solution that I can say and express. I swim in the ocean of our Pacific, the second deepest trench in the world. I soaked myself there a couple of weeks ago. And let me say this, I feel the vibration and the frequencies and the cellular level of the ocean. It's all came down from the Arctic, and they ended up in the kingdom of Tonga, and they traveled back all the way to the Himalaya. That's how interconnected we are. I speak for the children of our ocean. And that's my message. I witnessed that. Some of you call the blue ocean. I'm not too sure some of you on this side of the world know that. The carbon emission, whatever you are doing with all of this, we are in the catastrophe. That's the urgency of it. And let me say this, the children of the world will stand together and unite the forces of it. I was one of the few people, of the millions of them, I was one of the Tongan walking in 2014 in New York City. And the French journalism came to me. The tears was uncontrollably and asked me, what is your message? My message was very simple. For the people who create the policies, what would you say if you're on your deathbed for your grandchild? Did you do it for me? And that's my message.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Thank
That was
you.
very
Thank you.
beautiful. Thank you so much. They're going to ask us, were you there opposing carbon markets? And we are going to say, yes, we were. Another question?
Hello, my name is Richard Wydick from the University of California in Santa Barbara. And Tom, you have said that there is a struggle to adopt Article 6 going on right now. Can you tell us precisely who at this COP is arguing for those carbon markets and where we can find them? Who are the exact agencies or groups?
Could we take one more question and then we'll answer them? Mike, please.
My name is Megan Rowling. I work for Thomson Reuters, charitable part of Reuters. I would like to know what you think is the alternative solution to carbon markets in order to protect forests and other types of natural resources in order to be able to continue storing the emissions that they are storing rather than being land grabbed, cut down, whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, really quickly, one of our advisors and researchers on this issue of carbon markets who's been attending some of the SBSTA meetings the past couple of days, scientific body that actually is the one that's reviewing and trying to push Article 6. Tamara Gilbertson, can you raise your hand for your question? Go see her after we're done here, and she can give you some background on the movers and pushers of this. There are large areas of people, including talking about nature-based solutions. We have been very successful in this campaign that goes back many years against REDD. REDD was that symbol of this carbon market fiasco. Because of the success you all had, people here, they start to rebrand it now. So now the new brand is nature-based solutions. What is wrong with nature-based solutions? But if you look between the lines, it has nothing to do but what we have talked about. Thank you.
Yeah, can I say something? Actually, we don't need alternatives to carbon markets. We just need to stamp them out. Stop doing carbon trading and stop having these carbon markets. there is no substitute for real, honest-to-goodness mitigation actions by reducing the use of fossil fuels, keeping it on the ground, and actually doing ecological restoration. So we would be far better off without the carbon trading and carbon markets, and there's no need for alternatives to them.
Thank you. And lastly, maybe just to add 30 seconds, 10 seconds, we need to be able to give rights to the people who are actually using the forests, the river on the ground. We need to be able to ensure their access, their right to it, and they will protect it. That is our answer.
Yeah.
And it's what Henderman said. This is about peasant agroecology. This is about community forest management. This is about decentralized renewable energy solutions in the hands of people, not in the hands of corporations. And we must absolutely say no to carbon markets. Please grab a carbon markets briefing on your way out and join us for the action at 10 a.m. Thank you very much.
Thank you. No carbon market.
No carbon market.
No carbon market.